I was on Discord the other day talking to a guy I play Overwatch with, and he asked me what game I was going to be reviewing next. I told him that I was going to be reviewing Warhammer End Times Vermintide. He then asked me about my thoughts on the game, and I said that I really liked it. I really did. I really liked the fact that each character had a really different, unique style of play, but the overall game is just a Left 4 Dead clone, and if you have played as much Left 4 Dead as myself or Val growing up, you'd feel like you've played this game for the same amount of time. Requiring you to play with others also puts its toll on your enjoyment factor as well. Playing between yourselves and it's pretty fun, but when randoms join, it's not as fun. But yeah, look, I liked it, but the overall feeling of the game just felt like it wasn't really offering anything new, as this game is essentially a clone. The guy responded by saying, "You nailed it. That's my exact thoughts on the game when I played it." So just to clarify, I did like this game, and I think it's great for those who have not played Left 4 Dead. If you've played plenty of Left 4 Dead, well, I'm sorry. You'll be buying a game you've already played, except for a setting and skin difference, as well as the mild differences that each character may have. If you've played neither, but contemplating one of them, well, let me delve into why I think you should consider Vermintide over Left 4 Dead. Vermintide is essentially a first-person shooter in the guise of a dungeon crawler with role-playing elements, with loot and upgrades. You start each game in a tavern, selecting the hero you wish to play, and waiting on your allies to join and agreeing on the map you want to proceed on. The hero selection is really where Vermintide shines in comparison to Left 4 Dead, allowing for different styles of play. From your up-close melee knight, to your barbaric dwarf, to your fire-friendly mage, to your agile sharpshooter elf, as opposed to the characters that offer no real difference apart from physically looking different in Left 4 Dead. Personally, my favourite was the mage, who has probably the most interesting mechanic in the game, and its type of micromanagement I really appreciated and upped the difficulty level. Basically, from your staff you can cast big and small fire attacks. Each time you use it, your character will heat up a little bit more, eventually causing her to catch on fire and lose health and or die. The way you would prevent this is via venting, which runs through a cooldown, which means you kind of have to find a time and a place to vent away from danger. This means that health packs are so much more valuable to yourself in comparison to a couple other heroes. Moving on though, I just wanted to mention something that I don't normally talk about, and that is the graphics and the art direction. This game nails it. Vermintide is not the prettiest game, yes, but it looks really good and sets the mood perfectly. Fighting through dark corridors and battling through castles, the game depicts the world as it should. The medieval tone is played upon so well. You come across a few glitches when you're fighting these disgusting humanoid rats, but their hierarchy and overall enemy type was just a nice change of pace to fighting waves and waves of zombies. The difference between the enemies of Left 4 Dead and Vermintide is pretty thin though. You have your rat-like iterations of the smoker, the hunter and the tank, but the game does have their own variations too, like the rattling gunner and the storm vermin, who are stronger and hunt in packs. Being already familiar with these enemies from Left 4 Dead made the game in some respects easier. Each game you traverse each map and locate an area of interest. Complete the task to progress the level. This might be as simple as collecting X amount of something, protecting something for X amount of time, or surviving big waves. The level variety is quite broad in terms of locations, from forests to libraries to suburban towns. It all feels very cohesive though within the world that you play in. At the end of each level, the game works through a simple loot system of rolling dice resulting in random items. The harder the difficulty, the better drops you may receive. This is where the role-playing elements really come through, allowing for you to destroy old and unwanted weapons for materials to upgrade your favorite weapons. Each weapon has different states and allow for different types of play, from having your sword and shield to having a two-handed sword. This changes how much you can, let's say, block and push back, thus changing how you play. Personally, I'm more of a fan of bludgeoning rats to death with a two-handed mace rather than slicing them up and knocking them back with a sword. The difficulty in Vermintide is something a little bit steeper than Left 4 Dead, and sadly kids can play this game and sadly fuck it up for you. I'd recommend you play this one with your friends and not allow randoms to join, because kids fucking ruin everything. The game currently costs $30 and it's got a lot of content out there and quite a few DLC packs available as well. I can strongly recommend this game over Left 4 Dead, and I kinda wish I did play this game before Left 4 Dead. It's such a fun experience, but due to playing so much Left 4 Dead in the past, myself and Val kind of got fatigued very quickly as a result. We kind of both got to a point where we were like, this is fun, but let's play something else now. Warhammer End Times Vermintide goes on sale so often, so keep an eye on it and buy a few keys for you and your mates. It's a great time with friends. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, hit the like and sub button. Come over and say hi to our Steam Curator page. I'll leave a link in the description below. This is Sean Maurice from Hihu. Thanks for watching.
Wow! You got fucked.